Good morning, Hayom Yom, Yud Tes Sivan. So the third Chabad Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek, used to study Torah together with his son, the Rebbe Maharash. But in the year 1852, in the month of Cheshvan, they set up an additional Chavrosashaft, an additional time slot to learn together. And they started learning together 2.5 hours every single day. And during the winter months, they would start at 10 p.m. and go till 12:30 a.m. And during the summer months, they would start at 4 a.m. and go till 6:30 a.m. And for the first 2 years, between 1852 and 1854, they studied Kabbalah together. They studied works and Sfarim of Kabbalah, as explained and as interpreted by Chassidus, because Chassidus shows us how to really interpret everything, how to understand everything properly, how to understand Kabbalah properly. But then in 1854, they switched topics, and instead of studying Kabbalah, they started studying Chakirah, they started studying Jewish philosophy, Jewish philosophical works. And they would study this till 1856, the month of El. And they studied all of the major works. They studied Reb Sadia Gaon, which I think mainly refers to Emunis Fideis, which is the main and first Jewish philosophical work. Then they studied the work of the Rambam, Moreh Nevuchim. They studied Sefer Kuzari, they studied Sefer Ikrim. And again, though, all of this they studied as interpreted and as explained by Chassidus. Because Chassidus shows us how to interpret everything properly, how to not misunderstand it, how to not take these things the wrong way. And the Rebbe adds in his diary that when they would study the Rambam together, so the Tzemach Tzedek said to the Rebbe Maharash, "Come, velamir upvashin dem Rambam. Come and we'll wash up the Rambam. We'll, so to speak, clean the Rambam. We'll vindicate the Rambam." Because at the time that the Rambam wrote Moreh Nevuchim, it was a very controversial work. It was a very controversial book, because when you read it very superficially, the Rambam sounds very often very irreverent, very heretical almost. And a lot of people actually get all excited about this. They think the Rambam's some kind of free thinker, they think the Rambam's some kind of heretic, and that's the way they take it, and they misuse and abuse the ideas of the Rambam. And of course, that's a mistake. The Rambam's one of the most loyal, most holiest rabbis and Jews to ever live. But that's the way the book looks on the surface. It could look. So the Alter Rebbe said, we are washing that all away. We are showing the true meaning of the Rambam, what he meant with his words, what he meant with these powerful ideas, as explained by Chassidus, the truth of the ideas, and how Moreh Nevuchim is a beautiful, beautiful Jewish sefer, how it's obviously aligned with Hashem, with Torah, and with all truth. And the Friediker Rebbe writes that when they started learning Chakirah together, so the Tzemach Tzedek told his son, the Rebbe Maharash, that he had learned most of this stuff with his grandfather, the Alter Rebbe. And he said that the reason why the Alter Rebbe studied this stuff, the reason why the Alter Rebbe studied this Chakirah, was to make a Tikkun for the authors of these books and for the books themselves. Because although the authors were some of the greatest, holiest rabbis to ever live, although these books are some of the holiest, greatest Jewish books to ever be written, again, though, there's a lot of room to misinterpret them and to take them the wrong way. And because of that, there was a lot of controversy around them when they came out. And there was a lot of opposition in this world, and there was a lot of opposition above, spiritual opposition and kitrugim against these books, negative spiritual energy released against these books and against these authors surrounding these books. And the Alter Rebbe, through interpreting them correctly, through showing the true meaning of them, as explained by Chassidus, he was making a tikkun, he was being mis'er rachamim for them, and getting rid of and clearing up all that negative energy, all that negativity, all that kitrugim. And the Tzemach Tzedek says that I have had many, many visions in my life, many night visions, but the night visions of that era, of that time period when I was studying this with the Alter Rebbe, so many of those night visions, in those visions I saw how the Alter Rebbe was making tikkunim, was making a tikkun through him studying these books for the authors and for the Sfarim. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.